Live from the kitchen.
Standing in the kitchen.
Hey, I should have played the joke, but copyright.
Yeah. We ain't trying to get flagged, man. Them copyrights is real out here.
I know.
Or he could have been like Kyrie and live from a Zoom call.
Like, I still understand why he put KY instead of KAI. Like, he made it more difficult.
Made up a last name and just put Drew something and then all right. Like,
he could have put Drew Irving. Nobody would.
Thank you. That would have
worked. All right, man. Let's go and get it. Skipping Scooting with Sheedy today. Got a lot to talk about, especially dealing with Kyrie. So, and none other than James Harden. But gonna get the 30-second clock. Let's be real. 120.
120.
20. We getting all up there, though. Man.
Right, we old.
Becoming OGs real for real.
I have one more year left in my prime. Just one.
My God.
You ain't entered it yet. Wait till you hit them 30s, my buddy.
He had 2 left.
And the knees start giving out.
That's when the prime really starts.
But man, before we get started, first up, I got a couple of announcements. We're not talking about the Tigers today because yet another postponement, cancellation, whatever it was, the SMU game got postponed again. And now the next game is at Tulsa, the team we just lost to. Probably last time we played, or I don't know, when was the last time we played? I don't remember.
I think it's 84 years.
December.
It's been 84 years.
Once I got Dom said, 30 downhill. Hey man, shout out to Dom, man. Join me on the Let's Tighten Up podcast Tuesday. We'll get to that a little later. What else? Calvin Austin, wide receiver in Western Memphis, is coming back to school.
Needed that.
Yeah, that was huge.
But topics today: NBA, college football. Its national championship was this week. Seemed like it wasn't this week actually.
Yeah,
so much happened since then. NFL. Gonna review what happened wild card and preview the divisional round. And back with Trolling Out this week. Then we finish off with Tunica Trevor. So first up, Tuke.
All right, y'all. So a lot of people have been coming at Kyrie Irving, and I can't wait to get you all's opinion on everything that he's doing right now, especially, with missing games and, being called maskless and everything. So if you hadn't heard of the situation, Kyrie Irving has missed the last, I think, 4 or 5 games. And he really, the word is he hadn't told any of his teammates, his coaches or whatever that he's going to be missing the game. He's just, been solo doing his own thing. He was caught at a party, which was his sister's 30th party. Through COVID, he didn't have a mask on. So we know how the media goes through that. And then he was on a conference call for a congressman, pushing support during the Nuggets game, which I get that part. I definitely get that. But what I want to say is, and like I said, I definitely want to get you all's opinions, is I feel like the type of person that Kyrie is, he's still trying to understand who he is as a person. And what I mean by that is that sometimes that when you're on a spiritual walk, that you are doing things that you don't necessarily know that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And like, we're 10 games in the season. I understand that, he should be playing basketball. That's his 9 to 5 per se. But when you're playing a game of basketball and there is so much more things to tend to, like, the damn capital that we talked about last week. You know damn well black people couldn't be able to do that. There's a lot of things going on mentally that a lot of players are thinking about, but still having to go to a 9 to 5 to where they really shouldn't be going. If you look at last week or something like that, the Pistons and Sixers games, the Sixers had 8 players. You're still playing basketball because of COVID. Like Kyrie is seeing something, and like I said, he's making decisions that I don't necessarily think that he, understands yet. But when let's talk about Jacob Blake as well. Like shot 7 times, the whole bubble stopped because of it, right? And then we have the announcement that hey, none of the officers are guilty. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what now, NBA? You know what I'm saying? So I think that Kyrie is becoming a leader in something, but he's at the beginning of his spiritual walk, and I don't think he understands what he's doing so far, but it's good for the league. The fact that people are asking him, like Stephen A. are asking him to retire, it's 10 games into the season. He was there to win a championship. And when it's time for that, if he doesn't step up to the plate, I think then all critiques will be valid. How do y'all feel about everything I just said? We start with Sheedy, we go down to Savage, then go around to Sharky.
Interesting that you talk about the spiritual walk. That was like a really good play for him, I guess. And I don't mean that like in a bad way, right? Because for those that weren't know, me and two were going back and forth before the show started. But I think it's a little bit different for everyone. Everyone's walk with whatever your spirituality will always be different. And I agree too. Day one, you might not be like with God or Buddha or whoever it may be, but it might take you some time to get there. But he's also come out like a Kevin Love or a DeMar DeRozan about things. To me, Kyrie's got a lot of rope with the Nets. What I mean by that is like he's a star player on a franchise, and he can pretty much get away with some things that he's gotten away with so far. Where I think some other players wouldn't get as much of a leadway. I mean, as he has, yes, he's getting fined, but the man makes over $26 million a season. So him missing a couple $100,000, he'll be all right. I wish I can get a couple $100,000 myself. But I think this also speaks to the chemistry that he can build on the court. When you're not playing with your team, it does hurt the chemistry of the team. And so from an NBA perspective, it's hard to build chemistry, especially you just got a new star player there as well. I know we'll get to that later. And you just have new players around you. So whatever's going on, I hope it does, he finds his route the way he needs to. And of course, want to make sure that you can't do anything unless yourself is good, right? You can't pour into a cup if your cup isn't already full. And so hopefully he recharges, gets his cup together so he can pour into that other cup that this team is going to need. But for right now, I hope he again gets the help that he needs.
So I'm still processing the entire situation because at the beginning of the season, Kyrie came out and I don't know if he came out and said it, but he just acknowledged that he wasn't speaking to the media, which was weird for me because as an NBA player, you're contractually obligated to speak to the media. That's part of your contract. That's how they make money in the media, which in turn helps you make money as a player. So that was kind of weird for me. And then two, I feel like a couple of weeks ago, maybe days ago, they were saying that the Nets didn't even know where Kyrie was. And that to me was kind of weird. I'm like, how does your employer not know where you are? Because if I just didn't show up to work, they'd be like, where you at? If you ain't getting here, you finna be fired or, whatever, fine, whatever. And I'm also aware that as an NBA player or a professional athlete, it's a little bit different from a 9-to-5 job in terms of like the expectations. But at the same time, it still is a job. So it was kind of weird for me that, Kyrie was able to do these things without any sort of repercussions. That being said, like Sheedy mentioned, I don't really know what's going on with Kyrie. I know that Kyrie, and I mean it's in a neutral way, that he's different for better or for worse for some people because he's a flat earther and other stuff. But I wish that Kyrie would just come out in some shape or fashion, whether that's like a written statement, a tweet, a short video or whatever, and just say, hey, y'all, I'm not well right now. I need some time, some space for myself to get my life together. You know, I'm debating whether or not I want to play or not. You know, I'm consulting with a counselor, a therapist, you know, whatever. We as a society don't know what's going on. And of course, with him being Kyrie Irving, NBA champion, all-star, one of the best point guards ever played the game, we want to know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to continue to poke and prod as the media, as fans, until Kyrie gives us a resolution. Again, Kyrie is a little bit different from all of us, and so he doesn't really abide by normal rules. But at the same time, Kyrie got to play ball at some point. He got to come out and speak. He got to come out there and dribble with KD and now James Harden, which I think he will now because the team is significantly better. But I don't know what's going on with Kyrie. I just need him to do something. Say something, do something. Let us know that you're alive. I always tell my students, like, let somebody know when you're struggling or make it known to somebody. And maybe Brooklyn does know. Maybe they do know and they're just keeping it close to chest. But I feel like it doesn't look healthy what he's doing right now. It doesn't look healthy for the growth of that team. It doesn't look healthy for Kyrie himself. So I hope he's doing well. But at some point, life does go on. You have a pulse. You got to come out and just say, hey, I'm struggling, or hey, this is what's going on. Y'all keep me in y'all prayers and then keep it moving.
Totally.
Before you go,
Go ahead.
Scott, before you go, two things I just wanted to add. Hell of a job expressing that. I feel like that because of his relationship with Kevin Durant, I feel like that honestly they would know they're just playing it close to hand. And you know how Kevin Durant's been with the media, like he's been short with everybody. So I really think that their relationship is still there. I don't think that that's something that the media is trying to portray Kyrie. Like, you know, they made Jimmy Butler to be an asshole, and we know how he was. But number two, Kyrie Irving was fined $50,000 for attending his sister's party, and then he's lost nearly $1 million so far of the salary this season. So just want to throw that out there.
Yeah,
appreciate that. For me, I'm big on communication. I'm big on if there's something wrong with you, whether that be physically, emotionally, mentally, whatever the case may be, then depending on my relationship with you, I expect for you to tell me that. And my thing with Kyrie, first of all, I think Kyrie is an amazing person. I think he's different in some cases, but not to take away from his talent, but he's a really good guy, but I think there's something wrong with Kyrie. To y'all's point, I just think he needs to say that. And I feel like he has the capability of communicating that, because the last time I checked, I think he's vice president or president of the Basketball Players Association. So he has that ability to communicate. But I think the thing that's rubbed me off in this situation, the thing that's rubbed me the wrong way when he was in Boston, and the same thing he was in Cleveland, is he'll have these time periods when he's going through something and he's not expressing what's wrong. And sometimes necessarily you don't even have to express that. Even to, like Sever said, just tell me that I need my time away to do this, X, Y, and Z. You talked about all the work he's done in the community. Great job. Nobody's taking any of that away from him. But if you need that time, then tell me that so I know how to move. But when you're not communicating, I mean, it's just like you said with an employee. If you don't call and tell me, hey, I'm going to be late, or hey, I'm not showing up for a couple of days as an employer, my first instinct is to be like, all right, this situation is not working out. Exactly, Sheedy. So I just think for me, and I understand, I just wish he would say something. That's all that I want from Kyrie.
Yeah, for me, I think I will hit the nail on the head with everyone else is saying here about we will all wish that Kyrie would say something. But I'm going to take what Tuke mentioned earlier as far as that spiritual walk, and I'm actually going to go in the other direction with it and just say, I feel that Kyrie needs to figure out who he is on the court as opposed to off the court at this point in time. Because if you go back you could basically just go back 5 years to when they won the championship. At this point, of course, he's won the championship with LeBron, things of that nature. Then things starting to happen where things were working out, things were clicking. You know, everybody was questioning him in terms of LeBron and things of that nature, which led to him eventually wanting out. Then we all know what happened in Boston and how their relationship turned out and things of that nature. And then he leaves, he goes to Brooklyn thinking he's going to have a fresh start. And then one of his closest friends and idols passes away, you know, last January. So now, where are you now as far as a basketball player at this point in time? I think having KD there now will probably aid that whole thing a little bit. But I just think that at this point, like you guys said, like he's gonna have to say something. He's gonna have to come out and acknowledge it. And I'm not saying that we're not knocking his talent. We know what he can do on the court, but it's just from a mental standpoint. Like, where are you and who are you now as a person? Because mentally or physically, I think he still can still do what he does, and he still has that quote unquote mama mentality. But I think losing Kobe and then everything that's transpired prior to that could potentially play a part in this. But again, we don't know exactly what it is. But again, that's nothing against Kyrie as a player. He's an amazing person as well. But I just think more so than his spiritual walk off the court, I think he's probably trying to find himself on the court as well. Not saying anything in terms of his talents, but it's from a mental standpoint.
Oh, y'all pretty much hit the head on the coffin. As for me, for Kyrie Irving, not Kyrie, Kai. I hope he's doing. I mean, overall, I care from it. I think of him as from the human being standpoint, as in I'm hoping he's actually okay. I go back to the spiritual, and him finding himself. I'm generally hoping that he's okay. Mental health is a real thing out here, and just overall, I am hoping he's okay. I do disagree with some of the backlash, especially saying he should just retire and stuff like that. But then again, he bought down himself by not communicating. Back to Skylar and Shaq, Savage's point. Like, that's with me. Communication is big with me as well. Like, communicate with your employer. If you need to take time away, tell them that you need to take time away. Don't just – we shouldn't be hearing stories saying Steve Nash didn't hear from you. That's right. Unacceptable. Like, you say something. Like, I understand you had to take your time, but, like, please say something. Like, don't just go away. And with him not talking to the media already, then you do that. That's what makes it worse, and that's how come the media will say myths like, "Hey, he need to retire," all this stuff. Like you kind of bought on yourself. Although I do disagree with that backlash to that extent, but just really, man, just communicate. But overall, like I said, hoping he's doing. Hopefully, he's good. He's in a good place.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate everything that y'all just said, man. I feel like Kyrie is in a great place mentally. Like I said, he's just trying to figure it out. I also feel like it's just a part of me still feels like, man, he don't have to tell us a damn thing, And a part of me kind of is like, I shouldn't feel that way, but a part of me is like, he should tell the Nets. A part of me feels like he has told the Nets. So like I said, they're just keeping it close to hand. They're like, it's only 10, 11 games into the season, y'all. We got 72 more games left. If the season, continues, like I said, the way the NBA been running things, it's been hella questionable. Like Adam Silver has been doing a great job and everything, but I don't know, man. Playing games with not your superstar players is like you already losing ratings. I'm not gonna watch a Sixers game when Ben Simmons and Joel ain't playing and all them. So what's up, guys?
No, I just had one comeback for you. I think for me personally, I feel like the reason Steve Nash or Kevin Durant don't know is because of the answer that they gave. If they knew, okay, he's stepping away because he wants to handle X, Y, and Z in some form or fashion, they'd say that. But when, as a reporter, when I ask you, when do you expect Kyrie to come back? And your answer is, I don't know, or he's coming back when Kyrie's coming back, then I feel like then you also don't know. And like you said, I mean, he doesn't have to tell us a damn thing. But I feel like at some point, I mean, at minimum, your Bobby Marks, who's the GM, he should know. Steve Nash and Kevin Durant should know. And at least your teammates should know that. But I just feel like they don't know that with the answer that they gave.
Right. Got you, brother. Well, depending on it, I guess it really don't matter when Kyrie comes back. I guess, to some it does, to some it doesn't, because they just made a trade for, superstar James Harden. It was something that I didn't want to happen, but kind of knew it was going to happen. I guess we can get into the specifics in just a second. I thought I had them up. My apologies. Here we go. So yeah, the Nets got James Harden and a second pick from the Cavs. Let me see. The Nets traded Jared Allen and Taurean Prince to the Cavs and Karis LeVert or Gerald Levert cousin, however you want to put it, and a couple other things. And 7 different picks to the Rockets, 3 first-round picks and 3 first-round swaps, which I ain't never heard of. If y'all have, and then of course the Rockets traded Karis LeVert to the Pacers for Victor Oladipo. So it was a nice 3-way trade for a lot of teams. Definitely want to get y'all thoughts on James Harden. You're right. 4. What was the 4th team?
It was the Cavs, the Pacers, the Rockets, and the Nets.
Nets. Okay, yeah, 4. Okay, just my count. That's all. But yeah, how do y'all feel about James Harden being with the Nets finally? I guess.
I have a lot to say about this, so I won't say too much now. I'm just going to say I think who won the and because I want to talk at the end, I want to see what everyone else says. But I think the winners of this trade were the Rockets. To be honest, I know we're talking about James Harden. All of us on this podcast all said that we saw the Lakers versus the Nets in the finals. The question now is, does James Harden now secure the victory in the finals? And to me, that's a no. And the reason that's a no is because you just paired James Harden back with the same coach who he couldn't win a championship with. And I'll come back at the end.
Technically, he's not the coach.
He's on the staff. Same thing.
He's not the head coach. Because Kyrie said they don't need a coach.
Don't get me started, man. So y'all know that I was high on the Nets at the beginning of the season, primarily because I felt like the pairing of KD and Kyrie, they would somehow find a way to make it work in terms of them being like best friends and both being 2 of the best scorers of all time. Yeah, quote fingers around it because we don't even know what they are now because Kyrie won't communicate. But the James Harden trade to the Nets, in theory, on 2K sounds good because you have 3 of the best scorers in the NBA all on one team. And I don't want to get into the cliche of like it's only one basketball, I'm looking at it from a different standpoint. So looking at each of these 3 players, they are all unstable one way or another. Kyrie, we already spoke about his instability right now going on with the team. Kevin Durant, he's passive aggressive. He's a team hopper. So he doesn't really have roots into an organization. And then 3, you have James Harden, who I don't care what that man does in the regular season. I do not care anymore what he does. I want to see him in the second round of playoffs against a superior team where he ends up getting the yips. And I'm a firm believer that if he runs into a team like Boston or Miami or Philadelphia, he gonna get the yips yet again. So I went back and looked at each of the previous NBA Finals winners, and you literally can find stability in each of those teams, one way or another. So the Lakers with Kobe, stable. Dallas Mavericks with Dirk, stable. Miami Heat back-to-back, stable. LeBron, D-Wade, that's stability. The Spurs, the definition of stability. The Warriors, Steph, Clay, Draymond, Steve Kerr, stable. Cavs, LeBron, stable. Warriors again, all the way down. Toronto Raptors, stable, solid organization. Last year with LeBron and AD, stable. At no point in like the past 11 years do you find an unstable team winning an NBA championship. So the Nets could very well get to the finals, but I don't think they have enough cohesion and enough roots to hold a candle to the Lakers, who gonna make it out of the West. Let's be honest. So it sounds good in theory, but I feel like they might even make it out of the East. To be honest, from the way it looks, it might look nice. I agree, Sheedy. I agree. It might look nice, but I don't really feel it for the Brooklyn Nets.
So when I saw the trade, I'm not sure how I felt about it. I think, one, I was a little shocked because I couldn't for the life of me understand how the Houston Rockets agreed to trade. I mean, at minimum, can we at least all agree that James Harden top 5 in the league? Can we top 10 if we don't want to say top 5? Top 10. And for you to not get back Karis LeVert, you don't get back Jared Allen. You don't even mention Joe Harris, who's the best shooter on the Brooklyn Nets team. You don't get back Spencer Dinwiddie. As the Houston Rockets, what are you doing? You don't grab any of those players. Like,
You're shocked? I've only been saying it for the last 2 months.
Anywho, so back to the Brooklyn Nets. For me, I'm skeptical if it works because of Kyrie Irving. I'm skeptical of it working because, like, I mentioned this earlier, and Savage kind of talked about this. Kyrie Irving is unstable, and so I think that Kyrie Irving is going to cause rift in that locker room. I think he's going to cause separation amongst friends or teammates in that locker room, and that for somehow, some way will prevent the Brooklyn Nets from winning the championship or at least getting to the finals. I think they have enough talent on paper to get there, but it's something about that team that doesn't seem right. It's as if it's like, I've seen this story before and I know how it ends. And I know how it ends because I don't see the Brooklyn Nets winning the championship because you have LeBron James, who is the ultimate mediator. You have LeBron James, who can literally make everybody get along on one specific team and make that thing work within a year, because clearly we saw how well he did it with Anthony Davis. I don't think Kevin Durant has the capability to say, "Oh, y'all shut up and we about to just play basketball." I don't think he has that in him. For you, and we all know at this point he's the leader of the team. And so, because we know that, in at least my opinion, I don't think Kevin Durant is that person, has that dog in him to say, everybody shut up, let's just play basketball. Kyrie Irving, get your ass to the games. Like, I don't think he has that is the reason I still don't see the Brooklyn Nets at least making it to the finals. Or if they make it to the finals, they won't win.
Okay. First and foremost, if you guys are wondering why I'm considering dropping the Tunica moniker, it was because of this ridiculous trade here.
Don't do it.
I was 100% certain that James Harden would be a Philadelphia 76er. I was like, book it.
Had a better deal.
Yeah, they had a much better deal than what they eventually got out of this deal. But for you, Philadelphia, not to pull the trigger because you didn't want to part ways with Tyrese Maxey, that makes you look bad. Now, don't get me wrong. He's had a great start to his rookie campaign. Sixers are playing well, but I just think for a guy of James Harden's caliber, I just think him and Joel Embiid would have meshed much, much more and probably would have made them a much more serious threat in the East than they probably are currently. I would have partied with Ben Simmons. I'm sorry. You definitely have to – you got to come off of somebody if you're going to get James Harden. But it is what it is there. For the Nets, I'm catching a lot of Clippers vibes with this. And as far as you guys just mentioned about Kyrie Irving being unstable, like it's until we see it, I don't really think they could potentially get out of the East. And one of the teams that can upset them is the team that I personally feel won this four-way deal, and that's the Indiana Pacers. By getting rid of Victor Oladipo, who wanted to be traded, who doesn't want to be there, and to get somebody who plays similar to him in Karis LeVert for pretty much cheaper and 3 years younger, who I think is going to be an all-star this season now that he's in Indiana because he's going to actually be unleashed. That team is scary good and potentially dangerous. We already talked about we haven't talked much about him, but Domantas Sabonis, that's a bad dude right there. You guys better take notice of that. Malcolm Brogdon, who's probably one of the most underrated players in the league, coming off a few years in the league. Of course, he was Rookie of the Year in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. So with everything that's going on in the East with Indiana, Miami, Boston, until I see it, I really see this implode. Like I said, I'm catching a lot of Clippers vibes with this deal. Plus, they got worse defensively. Let's just be real.
They were already terrible.
Yes, they were already terrible because one, I felt Jared Allen should have been their starter as opposed to DeAndre Jordan. And the only reason that he's starting is to keep Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving happy because they're all friends. So now that your best defender is gone, yeah, exactly. Now that your best defender is gone, there's going to be no defense whatsoever on the interior, which pass it over to my man Savages when it gets to the finals. Who guarding AD? That's what's going to be. That's what's going to be the question. So in the end, I mean, kudos to the Nets. I mean, they got James Harden. We'll see how it plays out.
So that's for me. Yeah, like Scott was saying, Houston, they have a problem. All sports, football with Deshaun Watson, basketball with the Rockets, and I guess they love first round picks and pick swaps because that's what they got. I'm assuming because they asked Philly for Maurice Thybulle, Tyrese Maxey, and Ben Simmons, and Philadelphia said no to that. Maybe they could have left one player off. I guess I don't know. It is what it is. But Indiana did do great with the deal, getting Karis LeVert. Them being a scary team to make it out the East, yeah, they can upset somebody in the first round. That's about it, in my opinion. But I had Brooklyn making it to the finals before this trade. Ain't nobody in the East beating them, in my opinion. Stability or not, they making out the East. Now, NBA finals against the Lakers, that's a different story. I still don't pick them to win the finals yet, and it really comes down to KD. Like we said, we don't think KD has that in him to just say, let's just play ball. It's up to him to prove that he got that. He left Golden State for this. So for me, it's KD. It's time for you to prove you're the actual leader now. You left Golden State for this moment to be this player, put together this team. Now, do it. Let's see what you got.
It's like go ahead, Shark. I'm sorry, I know you weren't finished.
I was about to say what was the 14? Cleveland and all them centers. You go.
They could be moving pieces. But it's like with this Brooklyn Nets team, with these three now eventually getting together, it's like all the questions that we had about them are now being brought to the forefront. Like Sharky just mentioned in terms of Kevin Durant, like, can you be not just the dog on a basketball court, but can you be that vocal leader to just say, all right, shut up, everybody. We're going to play basketball. Let's get this going. Kyrie, are you comfortable being – let's just be honest. Are you comfortable being the third option now?
You could went to LA for that.
You had the issue being the second option in Cleveland to LeBron James. So now are you going to be happy being the third option now? Then, of course, with James Harden, can you show up in the playoffs? So
see, the thing about that, he don't have to show up now because he got them two. But I do think they need to put the ball in his hands. I do think James Harden needs to be kind of like the pseudo point guard in half court. He needs to be the one the ball in his hands because he's the one who he's more of a playmaker than Kyrie. Kyrie is more of a scorer. So I think, in my opinion, James Harden should be the one who initiates the offense.
Yeah,
I can see it.
Definitely, please don't change your name, bro. Like, don't change your name. But if Tyrese Maxey was the reason that the trade didn't happen, bro, like he a baller, man. He a baller. I think that's the player they've been looking for since Markelle Fultz, man.
He's doing better in fantasy than Kyrie for me.
So y'all know I kind of gotta be petty though. I kind of gotta ask though. Who did the Rockets get more for, Russell or Harden? I gotta ask. I got it. In y'all opinion.
I guess they got a lot of picks. Like we always say, the picks eventually gonna turn into names, so that remains to be seen. Of course, for Russ, they got John Wall, who's looking great right now.
And
that remains to be seen.
DeMarcus Cousins won't be there without John Wall, so that's why I kind of added him on too. Yeah, and the reason why I said the Rockets earlier, I agree. They didn't get enough for James Harden. I completely agree with that. But it was a toxic situation nonetheless. Victor Oladipo doesn't play good basketball without a good point guard. His years in Indianapolis have definitely been declining since he's gotten there. And so to me, this is a rebirth for Victor Oladipo and John Wall. Christian Wood is playing amazing, and DeMarcus Cousins is doing what he has to do. Ben McLemore, there's a different energy, a different aura, right, with Houston. So to me, the better trade was really to get Westbrook, right? Because once Westbrook left, you got John Wall, you got DeMarcus Cousins. And when they made that switch for Karis LeVert, I really wasn't a fan because I'm really more of a fan for Gerald than I am for Victor. But like, legitimately, as I thought about it, I was like, man, Victor
does really well. Does really well when he doesn't have to be the person that has to be the point guard. He's not like Malcolm Brogdon is not John Wall. Let's be honest. John Wall is John Wall, and when he goes back to form, which we've seen in these first about 10 games, he is more of a top 10 point guard talent, where Malcolm Brogdon was not. So to me, you needed to get John Wall there first. But then, yeah, you underdid for James Harden, but at least y'all ain't paying him $40 million to just make it to maybe the Western Conference Finals game 6 or 7 to lose year after year after year. Now you got Victor for like $20 million. So, and I got more about the Durant stuff too.
Yeah, you better become a fan of Victor because he wants to come to Miami. So get ready.
I could have been had Victor. We'll take Bill if need be. We'll take Bill.
Bill to Bill, bro. We
Bill on Bill.
I'll take Zach LaVine.
Yippee.
Bill to Bill. That's
Sorry, stupid.
Wow, we went from possibly getting Giannis to Victor Oladipo, man. I'm glad Jimmy got there last year, man. I didn't think he'd get that far. He got it. Cool. It's been a good career. Let's go Grizzlies.
No, you off the heat train.
Oh no, my boy Jimmy's still there. I know they're not winning, so it is what it is.
Oh, I am hurt.
It's the truth, G. What do you think?
It remains.
All right, man.
Oh, it's on me now.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all. So Monday. Monday.
We're all wrong, first of all. Except I think
yeah.
Was all wrong?
Oh, sorry. So I knew it was start getting somebody.
Sure. Yeah. And you won money, didn't it?
I already told about it. It didn't even matter. Didn't even matter.
So Monday was the P5P championship game. If y'all don't know what that means, it's the Power 5 playoffs. I'm actually going to rename this game. I'm going to call it the Alabama Invitational. So on Monday, we had the Alabama Invitational, in which Alabama invited Ohio State to the game, and Ohio State proceeded to get their asses kicked to the tune of 52-24. I don't care about anything else in this game aside from that dude, number 6, Mr. Devontae Smith, who had 12 catches, 215, 18 a pop for 3 touchdowns.
Before he got
like Ohio State is DBU, period. DBU had zero answer for Devontae Smith, who don't even look like a dominant receiver. But this dude, I don't even know how to compare this man to somebody else. Like, I don't know what receiver. Yeah, Sheedy, he's a pin. He's skinny, but somehow still getting open, snagging on people. Dudes just had it. So real quick, y'all, we ain't got to spend long on this because Alabama wins it almost every other year. I'm going to go into order of Shark, Trevor, Skylar, Took, and Sheedy, because Sheedy, your team get their ass kicked. How do y'all thoughts about the game really quick? Thoughts about Devontae Smith?
Devontae Smith to go. I want to say, what's the Savage or somebody was saying last year was Alabama was their run ending. Somebody said something.
I ain't say that.
Somebody said something to him. It was like, LSU took over. Is Alabama run coming to an end? Well, whoever said it, the answer is emphatic no.
Hell no, actually.
Right. Yeah, still here. Only thing I'm mad about is I want Ohio State to hold them to under 50, just 49 points, Sheedy, and I would have won $95, man.
Sound like Sheedy owes some money then.
But I did get $25 for them. They had to get over 69.5 total, and they got 70. Both teams combined for 76. So I did get some, and I didn't lose no money. That was free. That was a free bet that I did on that $95 one. I could have won. So they ended up working out. But hey, roll tide.
Whoever made that statement obviously doesn't pay a whole lot of attention to the SEC because it happens like every single year. Like every 5 years, Alabama has its run, and then maybe 1 or 2 years there's like an outlier, like LSU or someone else just comes out of the woodwork and maybe wins the national championship or something like that. I honestly thought this game was going to be much closer than it actually was, but I knew Alabama would pull it off because Devontae Smith, that's the bad dude. Like, Savage just ran over the stat line. This was before he got injured, and 90% of that was in the first half. So, like, and I will acknowledge Ohio State as DBU, but they had no answer for this man. And it got to a point where I turned it off, but I eventually kept watching.
I fell asleep. No, that was enjoyable to watch, actually.
No,
for you?
No, I turned it off. I turned it off at halftime. And then I put it back on because I was like, okay, maybe Ohio State is going to make a run. Let's see what's up. But eventually that didn't happen.
So what you have fun watching your team win.
Right. You messed up now, bro. You messed up.
You messed up. No, but seriously, no. But, and I'm so serious when I said this. I actually watched that game like as a scout because, of course, we'll talk about that here in a second. But the Steelers got knocked out, and so as a team that needs a quarterback, as a team that needs a wide receiver, as a team that needs a running back, I was literally looking at like the amount of talent that Alabama had, and I'm just like, damn, like it's talent everywhere. They had a 6'8", 360-pound lineman. Like, what the hell are you feeding that man? So like, and that's why I feel like for me, like that's why it was enjoyable to watch, and not just like on Alabama side, but like Ohio State had like they had plenty talent too, and I was just like I'm literally watching it as a scout to say like, damn, it's like talent everywhere, and I also didn't understand for the life of me how the hell Devontae Smith was as wide open as he was every time he got in the target. Like he was just wide open every single time.
You know what's crazy, Skyler? Wade, the cornerback, is good. That's a first-round cornerback. Working
exactly. Yep, and I think as much talk as we want to give Devontae Smith, Najee Harris looked. I mean, if Derrick Henry got like a second cousin, it's Najee Harris because that man, Derrick Henry is used to fall and get 6. Najee Harris is like 5, fall and get 5.5 because that man was not being tackled by anybody. Every time he got the ball, he at least had 3 or 4 yards in front of the lineman. So he looked really good too. But Nick Saban, Jesus Christ, shout out to that man. He's really, really good. The last thing before I go, to Savage's point about the Alabama Invitational, they'll be back next year. Nick Saban actually just got his best recruiting class that he's ever had. And
Skyler called Najee Harris, what is his proper name? Future Pittsburgh Steeler. Najee Harris.
I hope so.
Before Tuco, man, I honestly felt bad for Ohio State defense because, like, why are these Alabama players getting fed, bro? Because like these folks try attacking them, and these
country boys, man, in the deep south.
Like they ain't nothing. I was like, bro, what can you do about that? This is good form tackling.
Yeah.
And you take 3-4 dudes to bring Najee Harris and receivers down. It wasn't just him. When Devontae Smith went out, the freshman receivers out here.
Minchie went off.
I was like, man, I'm sorry, Sheedy, bro. Hey.
So one thing before I talk about the game is that Lito, I gotta call Cap on something that you said. You said that you were watching and going through the player scouting. I feel like somebody asked you to name 5 Alabama players and you couldn't do it. So now, as you rep your new team, you gotta know which players go to the league now. So I gotta call Cap on that one.
That's not my team. That's not my team. I keep telling y'all. I have no Alabama player in my team.
I'll put them together real quick. Oh man. But just quickly for the game, man. In all honesty, is like I really looked at the game and chose with my heart. I chose Ohio State with my heart because a black quarterback. I wanted him to succeed. But all year we've been talking crap about the Big Ten football. And then me and Sheedy, I want people to realize that me and his relationship is actually a pretty dope one. So I wanted to win with him actually for one time. I think that'll probably be the last time I go with you. I mean, good job, Dallas team. The floor is yours. I never choose with you anything again, bro. You know, I still love you though. Shout out to my young homie Avery, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. The floor is yours.
Yeah, unfortunately, I know we're not done choosing the same team. And we'll see later on. So, you know, we lost. We got mollywopped. We didn't show respect to that field at all. The moment that Trey Sermon went down in the first drive, I was reminded of what happened in 2007 with Ted Ginn when we played Florida. For those that don't remember, Ohio State, they had just scored. We were coming to score again. Ted Ginn scored on that kick return, but then got injured doing some mess.
Didn't they tackle him or something? That was crazy. I remember.
Yeah.
No, we tackled him.
Yeah.
And he was in a boot for the rest of the game.
Yep, I remember.
So it took away our fastest receiver and our most speed on the field in 2007. In the first series, Trey Sermon went down. Trey Sermon was huge for us. Those last two games, he's had over 500 yards against some pretty formidable defenses. So for him to go down and us not to adjust with that, you can't run the stretch with Master Teague. Master Teague is a between the tackle ISO player.
That's a nice name, though. That's a pretty
So
good name.
that was retarded. The other thing that was retarded, you know, Devontae Smith had over 1,500 yards before you even got to the game.
Man.
Why on God's green earth are we still in a 4-3 base defense with four corners expecting anything to happen? When you watch the game in the tape, Sean Wade didn't cover him like he was supposed to. So either he was just saving himself for the league or he was going whatever the coaches said. But to me, I think he's just saving himself for the league. But to me, he could have really cemented more of a legacy for himself at Ohio State by saying, at least taking that on. Now, we all know over 1,500 yards, ain't nobody really stopping that man. But he could have at least stopped him for at least less than 215 that he just put up, right? At least give me 150. I don't know, something, Sean. So our inability to adjust, even within the game, if it's third and 11 or 12 and Alabama had the ball, they were still throwing the ball. Why are we still having three linebackers and four defensive linemen in the game when Alabama was bringing out 3 and 4? I understand COVID. I get that part. But we had a week and 2 days to prepare. And we only brought 4 DBs to the party. We deserved to get mollywopped. We let that white boy look good, real good. And unfortunately, okay, you can go and then I'm going to finish. Go ahead.
I just had a question. I'm just curious to know how much of that game did you watch? Like, did you watch the whole ass whooping or did you just stop?
I did. I did watch the entire beatdown because I'm a fan of my team. And so if my team going to lose, I'm going down with my team. And so like I said, it was really the 4-3 defense. We could have done a lot better with that. And again, going with Trey Sermon went down. You cannot have Master Teague run the stretch like that. To the point of Scalito, that man was 6'8", 360, and that's their right tackle. And for people that know football, your right tackle ain't even as good as your left tackle.
Exactly.
So I can only imagine they were winning the trenches every single play, offensively and defensively. So not only are you winning the trenches, but you're also winning over the trenches. There was nowhere for us to get in. Thankfully, we scored 21 points, I think, before halftime. No, before halftime. And I thought the second half we could, spark a little bit of a comeback, but 3 points in the second half, unacceptable. And so, yes, we got our butts kicked. And we deserve to get our butts kicked with that game plan that Ryan Day brought to the field to play against, again, a receiver who already won the Heisman and has over 1,500 yards. You cannot play a 4-3 base defense, cover 2, cover. You cannot do that. You need to double that man like that. You used to double Calvin Johnson for the Lions right off the line of scrimmage. That's it.
I'm done with y'all, Sheedy. That's it for me. That's it for me.
Right back to the playoffs. So, hey.
Yeah, well, not only will we be back, Justin Fields will be your number 1 pick, by the way.
No, let's face the trolling. We understand you still hurt. We understand you still hurt. You still processing things. It's okay.
We're here for you. I got some more ammo for you.
We're here for you.
All right. Before we move on, can we stop arguing about the college football playoff? Because the same teams don't come. It don't matter because Alabama gonna win if it's 8 teams, 16 teams. It don't really matter. Still gonna win.
We gonna win anyway. We gonna win anyway.
I'm not a fan of. You know how? Let's move on. We ain't got time to talk about college sports. Thank you, Sharky. So on last week, there was a wild card round of the NFL season, and
Sounds so sad.
Let's
do this. Let's talk about the Baltimore Ravens and Tennessee Titans. We'll talk about 2 games that matter most.
Listen, let's be real. Let's tie enough for that.
Yeah. So we only jump one game. Next. All right. So, on last Sunday night, the Cleveland Browns of Ohio took on the Pittsburgh Steelers of Pennsylvania.
Damn,
and the Cleveland Browns walked into Pittsburgh and absolutely beat down the Pittsburgh Steelers. So before we jump into our divisional round picks, Took, Sharky, Sheedy, Savage, is there anything that you guys need or want to say? If the answer is no, we can definitely move on. But it doesn't look like y'all have anything, so we'll go.
I have nothing. I want to hear from y'all. I want to hear from the Pittsburgh. I heard from Trevor. I heard from Trevor. Trevor came through. I haven't heard nothing from Mr. Scott or Clayton. I just want to know talking about the game, specifically Baker Mayfield doing a great job of as they say, dotting y'all ass up. I just want to know.
How do you feel?
To Savage point, man, we got other podcasts. He talked about that. I don't know sports. It too came on there. I talked about the game. Let's sign up. We heard you.
Get you some listens over there.
Lido. How do you feel?
Hey, I'm sorry, Austin, bro. I'm gonna keep posting this. Nah, he'll do it one time.
I would, first of all, I did say this on Twitter, but congratulations to the Cleveland Browns on walking into Pittsburgh and making the Pittsburgh Steelers look terrible. To answer your question, Took, how I feel hurt. I feel betrayed. I feel like I've been lied to. Just
come on,
the first play of the game.
Come on, get it all out. Just
let it out.
I literally had a 5-month-old Sharky. Come on, man. I have a 5-month-old daughter sitting next to me, and I don't think she's ever heard me scream that loud in my entire life because I was just astonished is how bad of a start the veterans of the Pittsburgh Steelers looked. Marquise Pouncey, I don't think I've ever seen him do that in his entire career. Ben Roethlisberger, I hope you retired yesterday. Now I will say this: I've had my reservations about Ben Roethlisberger for years. I will say that, but damn, I hope he retires because I can't watch that type of football. I'm about to cry because that was so bad. Those interceptions, the overthrows, the miscommunication between him and the center. to wrap this
Real
up,
man time. Real man time.
Browns for beating the Pittsburgh Steelers in the wild card round. Mike Tomlin, this is strike 2 against you. I would like for you to understand that. Now, I will say this before we move on. They are still little brothers when it comes to the AFC North because they haven't won it yet. We will move on to the division.
You know what?
I ain't Chase Claypool.
Oh, we gotta talk.
If the Cleveland Browns are little brothers, that means y'all are Lonzo and they are LaMelo, correct?
No. Let me tell you what, am I the only big brother on this podcast?
Yeah.
No, me too.
Okay,
Oh, yeah,
have you played your little brother in something when it comes to, I don't know, a video game or basketball or football, and you whooped and you beat them every single year? You get one slip up, right? You get one slip up. Thank you.
I ain't gonna even lie. Hold on. I ain't gonna even cap y'all. So shout out to my little brother. It got to a point where I teach him basketball, right? But then again, he started getting better than me. You know, his body was better than mine, and he started doing better than me in basketball. So
know what he doing.
maybe
I do
shout
it.
out to my brother.
I
I gotta be true. I gotta speak my truth, man.
So when it comes to next year, in my eyes, they are still little brother to me.
Yeah, Chris ain't doing that to Skyler, man.
Anybody else got anything else to say about this stupid game?
Real quick.
I mean,
can y'all tell Chase Claypool to shut up because he keep talking? Like,
No.
Enjoy the couch, please.
No.
Just don't.
It's Juju.
It's not even just Chase Claypool. It's Juju as well. I'm like, bro, just chill out.
Juju. Shut up.
That's why I'm glad the Titans players ain't talking, because I mean the Ravens stomped on our logo and ran off the field and shook hands and we ain't said nothing.
I hate it, man, because it's like there's no accountability or no veteran leadership anymore in Pittsburgh. Like everybody's just doing what the hell they want and nobody's reeling them in. So that's my strike too against Mike Tomlin for not just deciding to just bring everybody in.
Mike Tomlin is a strong leader of men type, and he's not. He don't rein them in. It's weird.
He didn't do that with Antonio Brown and them.
Yeah, it's weird, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
As far as motivating and looking to get the best out of the defense, yes, he can do that. But as far as reeling in the entire team, the offensive side of the ball, yeah,
it's weird.
It's weird.
So make sure y'all listen to the homies podcast. I just want to give the flowers to Baker Mayfield while we can, man. 18 years, that's a long ass time, and you finally got your first win. Like we gotta give him credit.
Hey,
we got it.
Also, at this point, the Steelers, Titans, and Ravens stop winning the division. All three teams, they are better on the road than the playoffs. Yeah. They always choke when they're the home team when they win the division every single time. The Steelers won the Super Bowl when they were 8-8.
Yep.
Every time they get to win and they get home games, they let the Jacksonville Jaguars beat them in the snow. They let Blake Bortles drop 42 or whatever. The Titans, we want to lose to the Ravens at home every single time in the playoffs.
The last time we had
the Ravens lose to us every single time in the playoffs. So just home.
The last time we had a home game and actually did well, we got to the AFC Championship and got destroyed by the Patriots. So that should tell you something.
Yeah, we just need to just stay on the road.
Yeah,
fear on out. Both our teams. No more winning divisions. Barely getting playoffs. That's our best chance.
And speaking of divisions, we will now go ahead and start our game picks. Moving on. We don't care about what happened last week. We are moving on. So, tomorrow at 3:30, we have the LA Rams going against the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are off their bye that they clinched. So, tell me who y'all got winning. So we're going to go in the order of Sheedy, Took, Sharky, Trevor, Savage. And of course, I'm last.
Aaron Donald, regardless of how he feels, and he says he's more than 90% ready. He's ready to go. Jared Goff, bad thumb, is there. They had enough to win last week, and they have enough to get them right back to the couch this upcoming week. So go ahead and give me the pack. Give me the cheesehead.
Right. Shout out to the Rams for proving to me that I was a year early with my Sierra curse theory. Just want to bring that back for the mainstream people. But no, for this game, of course, I don't think Jared Goff has enough for him to win against the Packers, who's been playing, great football. So unfortunately, give me the Packers as well.
Man, as good as that defense was last week, man, it's a different story this week. So in the words like Jaden Rose, when he said, "Go Spurs, go! Go Pack, go!"
Well, I may have to hop on that bandwagon with you, my alien brother, and we may have to revisit the Sierra curse soon. I expect a big game from Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I don't expect too much from Devontae Adams because I think Jalen Ramsey is going to shadow him the entire game. He's going to have his catches, here and there, but I don't expect him to just get loose. I do expect a big game from MVS, so give me the Pack.
It's supposed to be snowing in Green Bay. So the Rams are I don't know, do they have an indoor stadium? I think they do.
No, it's outdoor.
Well, either way, it's in LA.
LA.
It don't even rain in Southern California. Shout out to Tony. But I'm going to go with the Packers because Aaron Rodgers is on a mission to come out of the NFC.
As bad as Jared Goff is, the Rams defense is that legit. I honestly think there's 2 upsets this weekend. I think this is one of them. Give me the Rams.
Why you shocked? He's been picking against the Packers all year. He's been strong on that one. He's been strong on that one. They not. He's been strong on that one.
I just think that like that Rams defense is legit. Aaron Donald is supposed to play.
That's for real.
Adams want to play. But I think somebody brought up Val-Scanlon, but Troy Hill is a good ass corner too. And I understand it. I understand the weather conditions, but their Rams defense is legit. And I think the Packers got offensive line issues, which is why they just picked up one very recent. I don't see their offensive line holding up well. When you ain't holding up the offensive line well for any quarterback, it's going to be a long day. So I'm going with the Rams.
Real quick, too, the Rams, y'all know they traded a bunch of first-round picks to the Jaguars. They still have drafted very well on defense. Like, they've been bringing in some 6-rounders that start in that corner and safety. Like, it's crazy.
Legit defense. So next up, we have the Baltimore Ravens going against the Buffalo Bills. Lamar Jackson looked every bit of Lamar Jackson last week against the Tennessee Titans. Damn Josh Allen last week against the Indianapolis Colts. So got 2 good quarterback matchups in this one. Tell me who y'all got winning.
My pick to the AFC Championship, one of my teams is still in there, and that's the Bills. I had Bills versus Colts, actually. And so the Bills already took down the Colts. And I got the Bills taking down the Ravens. So give me the Buffalo Bills.
One of the reasons I had the Ravens losing to the Titans actually was because I didn't think that they would play with the same kind of swag that they had, last year. The same energy, and like this game, they actually came with it. But I think you're going to go up against a better defense in the Bills, a more cohesive team on offense. Josh Allen is, Josh Allen and still doing his thing. So I'm going to go with the Bills on this one. I've been loving what I've been seeing, and I'm going to roll with them.
Are you sure? Because now we're picking the same team again, too.
Here's the thing. I think somebody else may pick the Bills, too. As long as somebody else pick the Bills, I think we're good. But if not, I may have to revisit.
Don't worry about that, man. Y'all saw how Baltimore celebrated last week. They literally spent their whole offseason built on stopping Derrick Henry, and they succeeded and celebrated like they won a Super Bowl. So they won a Super Bowl. See ya. They going out tomorrow. They already won it.
Thank you, Captain.
Well, for the sake, I had an upset pick too, and this one is actually it. I'm actually gonna go with the Ravens. Like I get it, what Josh Allen and the Bills offense has been doing, but they almost lost last week. They almost lost it to Phillip Rivers somehow, some way. I don't know. But I think this Ravens team is motivated. I think now that they got the monkey off their back with beating Tennessee and Tennessee, they're gonna take that momentum and they're gonna get Buffalo by 3.
Gotcha. Okay.
It'll be 24-21. This will be my score.
I am torn, man, because I feel like these two teams match up so well. The Buffalo Bills have a high-flying offense, at least on the perimeter. They don't have a good running game at all, like 0 running game. And the Baltimore Ravens, I mean, they got a pair of cornerbacks that you can put on literally anybody. So we're gonna see if top 5 Diggs can be top 5 Diggs against Marcus Peters.
Yeah, he will.
I'm gonna roll with the Buffalo Bills to circle the wagons because I feel like Josh Allen, he's looking like 2017 Carson Wentz, where he is converting on 3rd down. He's making crazy ass throws. Like he just got that look, he got that glow, and I don't think anybody's stopping him in this game. So give me the Bills.
Great. Calm.
I'm kind of torn as well on this pick too. I mean, the Baltimore Ravens have looked good, but it's not just Lamar Jackson. I think the Baltimore defense, the defense that everybody kind of talked about at the beginning of the year, is starting to come back. So I think that's part of the success that they've had, not only just last week, but ending the season too. But I'm going with the Bills only because I feel like Josh Allen makes 1 to 2 more plays more than Lamar Jackson. That's the only reason. I think that's the deciding factor in this game. I think Josh Allen and what he did last week, I mean, that throw, because I think in my opinion, he made that one solid throw to really keep them in the game. And I think it was like 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10. He was rolling out to the right and he just dotted one to the I was like, that's not supposed to be able to happen. But that throw was absolutely ridiculous. So I'm going with Buffalo just because I think they made 1 to 2 more plays more than Baltimore. So after that, we have the Cleveland Browns, who looked really, really well on last week. Their head coach is now back in Kevin Stefanski, going against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Spread on that was in Kansas City plus 10, so that's a little high in my opinion, but we'll go ahead and pick nonetheless. So still saying more to Tim, who y'all got winning.
Sorry, I was trying to talk. I didn't choose the Browns last week. I did choose the Steelers, I'm gonna be honest. But this Cleveland Browns team is extremely motivated. And the Chiefs, to me, seem content. Everyone's going to give the Chiefs their best. And I don't think the Browns gave their best last week against the Steelers. I think the Browns still have something left to give. Like when you play a Super Bowl champ, you want to give your best on the way to the Super Bowl run, so to speak. So go ahead and give me the Chiefs.
I was waiting on go ahead for the other side.
He's going somewhere.
Yes.
You ain't torn. Speak your truth.
Right.
You ain't going.
Because this season still has 2020 attached to it, I feel like that it will affect this game. I'm gonna go ahead and say it, man. I got the Browns winning. I think when you look at the Chiefs in the game that they, I guess, lost, because like I said, I don't count the last game that they lost because of the last game. But the game they lost against the Raiders, great run attack, great defense, and you know what I'm saying. And Derek Carr, he controlled the game for them to win. I think Baker Mayfield does the same thing again this week. Their defense is gonna come out with the energy it needs. Like, I know it's Patrick Mahomes, but I'm a roll just because it's 2020, man. Give me the Browns.
And Patrick Mahomes won the Super Bowl in 2020. Am I correct?
No, they had 2019.
But it was in the start of 2020 when the Super Bowl took place, my friend.
Hey,
I mean,
I tell you,
it's 2020, man.
I tell you this. The Browns still got some cornerbacks coming back. Denzel Ward coming back, yada yada. Coach coming back. That's all cool. They got a good running attack. Their defense a little iffy still. You know, they can give up 28-0 on the Chiefs like they did the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I still believe the Chiefs will come back like they did against the Texans last year. Because the Chiefs just do that.
Mm-hmm.
So give me the Chiefs to cover. You said plus 10 or minus 10. Give me them to cover. Nobody beat the Chiefs. It's like rocket science, bro.
If you want to make some money, I pick them to go over. I'll take the two.
This ain't rocket science, y'all.
I get it. Cleveland's getting healthier. They're getting Kevin Stefanski back as well. But the first commandment of the Let's Be Real podcast: thou shalt not pick against Patrick Mahomes. So give me the Chiefs.
Savage, don't do this to me, dog. Don't do this to me, dog.
So last week was surreal. Like that first quarter was like, is this really happening right now? Am I about to get podcast gold for Let's Be Real? And
you just had to keep ranking it up, huh?
And the I Don't Know Sports podcast. Like I texted Tuke and I was like, bro, like what's going on? So I mean, the Browns are getting back Stefanski. They're getting back their all-pro left guard, Batonio. The run game did not miss a beat last week at all. Like, and this was with a backup left guard, backup tackle, whatever it is. So the Browns look good. My biggest fear is, go ahead, Sharky.
Didn't Jack Conklin get hurt?
I think so. Yeah. My biggest fear is the Chiefs getting up like by 21 points, and then it's like, dang, once they get up, man, it's like, man, it's a wrap.
Get down on them.
Yeah. But I'm saying for the Browns specifically, the Browns, if they are ahead, they're going to hold that ball and it's going to drip. It's going to be Excel clock like mad. They're going to drip that giant all the way down and slow it all the way down. But what I think happens on Sunday is that similar to the Pittsburgh game, the Browns are going to find some kind of lucky way to get ahead, whether that's like a fumble or a random pick from Mahomes or whatever. The Chiefs are going to find a way to come all the way back and probably get up by however much and then lose to the Browns because I'm not getting off this ship just yet. Give me the Cleveland Browns to beat the Chiefs in a shootout, 34-31. The Browns see the Buffalo Bills in the AFC Championship. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Let's go, Browns.
That's my dog. That's my
I'm rocking this ship all the way. I'm going against first commandment of Let's Be Real podcast. I am doing it, but that's because Baker is cooking. So let's get it.
We doing it together, bro. We doing it together.
Yes, sir.
I think for me, one thing that's not talked about enough is Kansas City's defense. I think is we want to talk Patrick Mahomes. You want to talk Travis Kelce. You want to talk how do I forget the really fast one? There you go. As much as everybody wants to talk about their offense, I think their defense has been really, really good. So for me, I think that's the difference in the game. And of course, Patrick Mahomes, and we all know the first commandment of Let's Be Real: don't ever go against Patrick Mahomes. So I'm going with the Chiefs. I don't think that the Browns cover, I don't think the Browns cover, but I'm going with Chiefs, and just because it's Patrick Mahomes.
So you're saying the Chiefs are going to cover? So they'll win by more than 10?
No, they won't cover. Sorry, I don't think they'll cover. Oh, sorry. So then the last game, we have a battle. We have a game that's on the History Channel. Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going against Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. Game is set to start at 5:40 on Sunday. Same order. Tell me who y'all got winning.
I'm trying to recall the last time that Thomas lost a divisional round game. I'm trying to think.
The Jets
Broncos?
can't wait. Can't wait.
No, I don't think that was divisional. I think that was AFC Championship. But to your point, the Jets.
That was divisional.
Yeah, I think the Jets was division.
Yeah.
What was that?
A long time ago.
He don't lose divisional games. He'll lose the AFC Championship game, maybe even the NFC Championship game if they make it that far. But y'all, the same way I feel the NBA about James Harden is the same way I feel about Drew Brees. And so I love the Saints, though. It's the New Orleans Buckeyes, if you ask me. So go ahead and give me Thomas to make his farewell tour and possibly be as close as we can get to having the actual team play in the actual stadium for the Super Bowl. So go and give me Tam.
So I won't be picking with my heart again because I do feel like this is one of Drew Brees' last seasons, at least with the Saints, possibly his last season. But I'm not going to pick against Tom Brady in this one. I think Tampa's going to be turned for the Super Bowl. So I'm gonna roll out with Tom Brady. I'm gonna give me the Bucs.
Now, okay.
All right, man.
I mean, it's the fact that you're going first, man. If you were going last, you'll be agreeing with me.
Makes sense.
Yeah. This one's tough. This one's tough because it's hard to beat a team 3 times. But the 2 times they played, I mean, the Saints just really whooped them. But to their credit, it was early in the season. Really both games. And Tampa Bay's playing their best ball right now. But New Orleans defense, and what we was talking about the Rams defense, New Orleans defense is probably. Now I ain't just talking about the Bears game last week. I'm talking about before that. Because the Bears, it's the Bears. I mean, I blah. But season, their defense, like the Rams, how we talking about their defense, the Ravens, their defense is up there. They have one of the top defenses in the NFL. So this one, whoa, why do I have to choose? Man. It's hard to go against Tom Brady, but he always wins divisional games at worst. He doesn't play on the road in divisional rounds. That's why he hasn't lost in a while. He's not at home. Sure. He's on the road. Give me the Saints.
Ooh, okay.
To Sharky's point about New Orleans defense, their defense is actually pretty decent. And like you said, it's up there with the Rams and the rest, and the Ravens and the rest of the crew or whatever. I know it's the Bears, but the Saints didn't look good last week against the Bears. If the Bears had anything resembling the offense, they could have pulled off that upset if we wanted to be real. And like you said, it's tough to be a team. It's tough to beat a team 3 times in the season. So with that being said, give me Thomas. 24-20.
Come on, Thomas.
One thing that I noticed about that game last week, or really just the past couple of games with the Buccaneers, the former Pittsburgh Steeler is happy. He is getting the ball. He's accepted. He has a quarterback that talks to him like he's a human. And Mike Evans did not miss a beat either. I mean, 6 for $119. If Chris Godwin can catch the damn ball, they'd be all right. But I just think that the Buccaneers, I think this is destined right now for them to beat the Saints. Drew Brees it's a wrap, man. I think it's a wrap, and I don't believe in any New Orleans Saints defense that lost to the Philadelphia Eagles. That's just my opinion. So give me Thomas Edward Brady II to go on to the NFC Championship.
Oh, government name.
Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr.
There you go. Full name. There you go.
A lot of y'all picked. It was a lot more picks for the Buccaneers than I thought it would be. I'm going with the Bucs, just because it's something that's different about this game. It's the Bucs are blown out twice, like by the Saints, like got the ass whooped, and I can't see this. I feel like for some odd reason, I feel like the Saints maybe their edge is down a little bit, or maybe they come into this game a little bit more confident than they probably normally should or would. But I'm going with Bucs. If it's one thing I got left right in this NFL season, it's been the Bucs. So I'm gonna ride that one all the way out. I'm going with Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win this game. Good picks, y'all.
All right.
Ooh, should be an interesting weekend. Fine. All right. Guess what it's time for?
Time for trolling out. I feel like we ain't played this in a while.
Is you
trolling?
This thing's so long ago.
Man.
Scott, do you want to go first with yours?
Yeah, so let me go ahead. Please pull a my trolling now, Captain. What the hell is this?
I knew you was going there with that. I knew you.
Please tell me.
Hey, talking about tuna, eggs, and grits. What kind of combination is this? So is it breakfast or is it lunch? What is this?
Explain for our
I guess
audio.
that's your preference.
Explain for our audio listeners.
Two.
What?
I saw this. I said this has got to be a troll. There is no way on God's green earth that.
I mean, they had tacos at one point. I mean,
Yeah, that's fine and dandy, but I know damn well they ain't putting no damn tuna sandwiches.
Where did she go?
He just got up and left.
nah, he said he got to be laying down to spin in the chair. He's spinning like that by himself.
Please tell me. Please,
Yeah, no, he went to go get one.
tell me this is a troll. This is a troll, right?
Wait, come out real quick, y'all. Real quick. So can I say this really quick? For those of you who picked the Chiefs, if the Browns win, you must buy this sandwich.
Psych.
If the Browns win, you must buy this sandwich.
First of all, I better not catch anybody buying it. Anybody.
Bianca, don't forget.
Find out you stopped at Burger King and you got a damn tuna sandwich. What is that next to it? Corn nuggets?
Hey, don't forget the mac and Cheetos they had at the time.
Yeah.
So please tell me. We haven't talked food in a while. Please tell me this is a troll.
No, it's not true.
What's the platter? What's that going?
This can't be real. Hold on, man.
Tuna, eggs, and
That's
grits.
a breakfast platter. Tuna, eggs, and grits.
Is that the bread?
First of all, I ain't eating grits from no damn fast food, man. I made my own damn grits.
Exactly.
I'm about to eat it with hash browns on the side. So it's like
The way I saw this too, the reason I saw this is because on Twitter somebody said, "Have y'all bought the grits from Burger King?" And somebody's response was, "You bought what from where?" Is the response. And I thought that was hilarious. And I said, "Ain't no way Burger King is serving grits. They got a platter for $5. Why is the platter $5?
Okay. Can I the tuna sandwich? Okay, hold on, wait a minute. We're not gonna get off this subject. We're not done with this one yet.
First
of all, why does it cost $3.50 for tuna out of can? Chicken of the sea. I mean, you can get 16 cans of tuna for 20 cents. Why are you going there to get your bun toasted to put some tuna on there with some lettuce and tomato and paying Burger King, not Tuna King,
Strong ass beef, Burger King.
The croissant is $2.50. You know you can get 2 for $4 with a real meat. $2. And you gotta get chicken of the sea for $2.50 on the croissant. You don't want a tuna burger, bro? I don't want the Impossible Burger. I want my burger turkey. That's how I like my burger. I don't want no tuna. I don't want no grits. I don't want no eggs. Where are they storing the tuna in Burger King? So y'all close the lobby down and y'all putting the tuna in the lobby because you kept it on the grill. I'm just trying to figure it out. Only thing I can say is the owners of Burger King made an investment of a lot of tuna. It's COVID, bro. COVID.
Burger King is struggling. Let's call it what it really is.
That man said, he said not Tuna King, but Burger King. Golly, way too funny.
Economics, bro. Economics. They got to get their money back somehow.
No. When you see stuff, when you see Burger King putting out tuna sandwiches, when you see Burger King putting out tacos, they're about to go bankrupt.
They are, man.
They books that.
But cheated, man. Back to that Tuna King line, bro. I worked at Chick-fil-A. When I worked at Chick-fil-A back in the day, man, I was in the kitchen, but I used to hear all the orders. Somebody came up there and said, "Do y'all got burgers, bro?" Man, My guy famous is like, nah, Burger King down the street.
But why was that his option? Oh my God, bro.
Oh Lord. I hope
The Fattest Sport Podcast, baby. Here we go. 2021.
they won't be in fat on that one.
I wasn't being fat. That was just that's a PSA.
Why
That's my stomach
can't
hurt,
be
man.
healthy 2021, man? Why we can't be healthy? That's all that is. Why we
Ain't nobody eating that.
Nobody eating that from
None of us eating that.
Even about trying to, I saw that the segment was trolling all. I saw that on my Twitter timeline. I said, well, damn, this has got to be talked about.
No, that got to be coronavirus. That's what that got to be.
exactly.
COVID.
COVID.
Your boy, this way.
Man, that made me cry.
Hey, can anybody top that?
That may be better than my
I do.
That may be better than my two pieces.
Yeah, because John Wall looking pretty good. So yeah.
Yeah, John Wall's actually playing.
You had something about the Jaguars passing on Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, that's definitely a troll.
Oh, please. Urban Meyer, he's not going to take Trevor Lawrence. He is going to take Justin Fields. You can book that. I don't know how you want to put that in the trolling line, but Justin Fields over Trevor Lawrence because of Urban Meyer.
It's not a troll.
No, I feel that. I think that'll be the only way that happens. So
I'm looking forward to playing Urban.
So according to that logic, right? The Jaguars pass on Trevor Lawrence so they can draft Justin Fields, right? Number 2 pick is the Jets. They just said they might commit to Sam Darnold according to reports.
That's because they want Trevor Lawrence. So Trevor Lawrence falls number 2. They take
then by Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
That's only because they know they think Trevor Lawrence is going to win.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. What are the chances that Jacksonville draft Trevor Lawrence but try to trade him, for a lower pick, but they can't find the right package? So now you're stuck with Trevor Lawrence.
Stuck with Trevor Lawrence.
Look. Hold on. Y'all know damn what happened about Sunshine. Come on. Y'all know
What's it? Stuck though.
So the guy who had Justin Fields going number 1 because of Urban Meyer. That's what I'm saying. Urban Meyer, Justin Fields, they belong together according to some, but he will be stuck with Sunshine.
Jacksonville's quarterback.
I get your question, but you don't make that pick without knowing that you already have the deal in place. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's go back to what do y'all think the chances of that will happen? But that's a good point.
Who's Jacksonville's quarterback right now?
You said what?
Who's Jacksonville's quarterback?
Yeah, Minshew. Yeah,
Blake Bortles.
They're taking a quarterback number 1.
Yeah,
I don't know who
they taking the QB, no matter which one it is.
no trade down unless they trade down to number 2.
How much they paying Gardner Minshew? I wouldn't mind having Gardner Minshew. I just need somebody not to turn over the damn ball.
He's on the rookie contract. He's a 5th round pick. He ain't getting paid nothing.
He ain't sorry, but I mean,
I just need somebody that's not gonna turn the ball over. That's all I need.
He got some swag. He got some swagger now.
Swagger.
Don't turn the ball over.
Like Gardner Minshew. Okay.
They're saying Gardner. Swag.
Right. I need to work at home part time.
I want to have some fun with this trolling now real quick before we are somebody else. So because of what Savage just said, trolling out, there's a chance that Trevor Lawrence will move out the top 2.
That's a troll. They'll trade up there, man. Nah, that's a troll. Somebody throw the Falcons, the Panthers, the whoever, the Eagles. If he wanted to trade up, nah.
The Patriots.
I really hope my Panthers trade up, man. I really hope my Panthers can find a way to trade, but we'll see.
All right, Trevor, end us off.
All right, we're just gonna keep it short and sweet here. Of course, not a whole lot of games in the NFL because it's divisional round weekend. So, from all that I've looked at, the best possible bet that you can make to possibly make a quick buck or whatever, I'm actually going to go with the over-under for the Saints and the Buccaneers. Right now, they're projecting them to go over 52 points combined. I'm actually going to take the under there because I don't think this is going to be a shootout like a lot of people are projecting it to be because it's Tom Brady and Drew Brees. So Take the under in that one, under 52 points for the Saints and the Buccaneers. So.
History Channel for a reason.
There you go.
That's not nice.
Where she never came back, bro.
I was trying to find that
what
croissant
happened?
on it.
Exactly. He went to go get one. When he left the first time, he had to go tell the wife, "Hey, wife, y'all think go get it? You want one?" Yeah, with an egg white sandwich.
And knowing Bree, she would kick his ass out if he brought that up. She would kick him out. She would kick him out.
Honey, you want a tuna burger? Tuna burger, eating dude.
Right. Bro, Burger King struggling around here in these streets. I swear they are.
Yeah, that's funny, man. That's funny.
They trying anything at this point. Jeez.
That folks got tuna burgers.
You might call them Tuna King. That was funny.
All right, man. It's been real, man. Y'all got anything?
I'm about to go off. Go ahead.
I just got one thing. If I catch anybody buying that damn tuna sandwich, I'm whooping their ass. Is that simple?
Tuna burger, bro.
If you ain't listening to nothing else on this podcast, if you ain't listen to nothing on, you not buy that damn tuna sandwich.
If I just start serving tuna helping.
All right. Let's go. All right, man. Peace, man.